Good morning, Center for Spiritual Living, Rogue Valley.
Well, would you like to stand for our opening song?
And this
if you're
involves
willing,
a little
if you're
bit
able.
of morning calisthenics,
Yep.
too.
You can
so here
sit
we
and
go.
do this, too.
Rise and shine, it's a new day, a different path, a different way. Bring your dreams of work and play. Rise and shine, journey to your destiny through endless possibility. You cannot fail, your heart is free. Rise and shine, rise and shine, it's a new day. Rise and shine, it's a new way. Rise and shine, it's a new day. Rise and shine, it's a new way. Rise and shine, your inner light illuminates your path so bright. The rainbow's end is in your sight. Rise and shine, rise and shine, it's a new day. Rise and shine, it's a new way. Rise and shine, it's a new day. Rise and shine, it's a new way.
Woo! Give yourself a hug.
Yeah. All right, we all risen and shining? Thank you. Anton Miserak, Laura Berryhill, and Alyssa Narum. Oh boy, we have a treat today. And they're going to be here for a kirtan concert afterwards too. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living, Rogue Valley, in partnership with Medford Unity. I'm Kimberly Hawkins. My pleasure to be the spiritual director here with a whole host of supporting cast members, including this morning Reverend Laura Stewart, who will be doing our opening prayer and invocation, and Morel Wyeth, our practitioner, who did a meditation this morning and is sitting high watch. She's praying for everyone's highest and best good. Those here in the sanctuary and those watching us online, good morning to you as well. Anybody here for the very first time? Nobody this morning? Okay. I like to say we are a spiritually progressive, radically inclusive faith community. We teach tools to transform personal lives and help make a world that works for everybody. And we welcome you all, no matter where you are today, on your own personal spiritual path. Let's see, I've introduced the cast of characters. If you haven't already done so, please turn your cell phones off or in airplane mode. That way, those of us who are energy sensitive won't be affected, and neither will our equipment, which is also sensitive. I'm looking back to our video team today. We've got Corey Rennick and Tom Frederick on sound. Thank you so much. Yeah. So I think it's time now to take a deep collective breath. We're going to turn things back over to our beautiful musicians to prepare us for our invocation and reading. And as always, please hold your applause after this particular song. We'll go right into prayer.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors.
And leave us not in temptation, but deliver us from error. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever.
Good morning, everyone. Let's stop tripping over your tongue. Let's take just a deep, relaxing breath, easing into this perfect present moment, this moment that is now, that is here, that is saturated with divinity, completely immersed in love, for it is all God and absolutely nothing else. Each and every person here today is an amazing incarnation and expression of that one divine power. And God is having so much fun as us right now. I am grateful for this amazing service and everyone who made it possible. I'm grateful for each and every person in this room that was drawn to this service today, to expand in conscious awareness of your unity, your oneness with all that is. I know that everything that needs to be shared today is shared and is going to touch the hearts of each and every person here in a way that is uplifting and inspiring and divinely right. I'm grateful to know that Reverend Kimberly is an open conduit and channel for God to move in through and as her as she shares her amazing spiritual wisdom and gifts with all of us, for she truly is that gift. I simply know that today is unfolding exactly as it's meant to, just the way it is and just the way that it is not. And I simply say, thank you, Spirit. Thank you. And so it is. Thank you. Good Lord, there's a lot of stuff up here. I've got cough drops and their pens and hand sanitizer. Everything's falling on the floor. It's like having my cat here. The reading I selected today is from page 146 in The Science of Mind, under the paragraph entitled The Power Within. God's creative power of mind is right here. We have as much of this power to use as we believe and we embody. As we believe and we embody. The storehouse of nature is filled with infinite good, awaiting the touch of our awakened thought to spring forth into manifestation in our lives. But the awakening must be within our thought. And I love that because it can't be in anybody else's. The word that we speak is the law of our lives, and nothing hinders its operation but ourselves. We may use this creative word for whatever purpose we desire, and this word becomes the law unto the thing for which it was spoken. We are given the power to sit in the midst of our lives and direct their activities. Think about that. We are given the power to sit in the midst of our lives and direct their activities. Strife and struggle are unnecessary. We only need to know, but we must know constructively. Let us dare to believe that every constructive word is invincible, and so it is.
Let me express what is closest to my heart in a way that reflects the truth. Let me perceive with an understanding mind and the consciousness to choose. Let me look inside the universe's ever-changing dream. Let me co-create a world where love is heard and seen with my words of love, with my words of truth, with my words of trust, with my words of strength. Let me look inside the universe's ever-changing dream. Let me co-create a world where love is heard and seen, where love stands next to courage and humility to strength, where joy reveals its power next to hope and peace, with words of love, with words of truth, with words of trust, with words of strength, with words of joy, with words of hope, with words of love.
I'm so grateful that all of you have set the stage for what I wanted to say to Laura. Oh, what a great, isn't she great? What a great delivery. Yeah, Reverend Laura. And we couldn't clap after the Lord's Prayer, but oh my gosh, I get chills every time I hear it. So, let's do it now. Whew. I got chills, and so I'm up here ready to go. And I'm going to just clear the decks here, because Laura said there was a lot of gutzes here. All right, good. So, this morning, I've entitled the message, Your Word is Your Wand. It is actually the title of a book written by Florence Scovel Shinn, a wonderful New Thought author and teacher. But think about it a minute. In light of what Reverend Laurel read about our word, goes forth and becomes what we see, what we create around us, what we create within us, right? That's what we teach in both Unity and Science of Mind, that there is this receptive part of the law, called the law, receptive part of God, which says yes. And imagine if we were conscious of the fact that we were holding a wand. I mean, wouldn't you be careful about where you pointed it and what you wished for? Because abracadabra, your wish is my command. What was the other thing, Laura, you said this morning? Open says me, that's the power we have, really. So, and it's a truth that we see both in the Bible and the Course in Miracles. For instance, Proverbs 18:21, death and life are in the power of the tongue. Really, that's true, isn't it? We can create hell, we can create heaven. And collectively, with our word and our thoughts, we are really, really powerful. Florence Scovel Shinn said in her book that I mentioned, the words you speak create your own destiny. Imagine that. We're not victims, we're creating our own destiny. Every word spoken sends out energy into the universe, she said. A person's tongue is a wand. Our tongues are wands, and our thoughts are wands. This past week in the class I'm taking with Reverend Mark Anthony Lord, which is called the God Immersion Program, Laura's in it as well, we've been going through the chakras, and we last week focused on this fifth chakra, the throat chakra, which is all about our expression and our word. And this is a very, very lovely affirmation we've been using that I'm going to share with you. You were created to create the good, the true, and the holy. That is right out of the Course in Miracles. You were created to create the good, the true, the holy. So we were using it I. Would you say that after me? I was created to create the good, the true, and the holy. Right? That's what God is, the good, the true, the holy, but we can choose another way. The Course says it's a very simple choice. Whether we're choosing our thoughts, our words, or our actions, we're always choosing between two things. We're either choosing love or we're choosing fear. That is a pretty simple choice, but not always an easy choice, especially in the world today, right? When we can see a lot of things that make us angry or hurting or scared. We have to reframe. We have to, what I call, purify. That's what I feel like we were doing all last week, focusing on purifying our thoughts and what we allowed ourselves to speak so that our words become instruments of healing rather than instruments of harm. So I have 3 ways I want to encourage me to continue, and all of us perhaps, to engage in purifying our thoughts and remembering that our word is our one. The first is self-talk. Anybody in here have negative self-talk occasionally? A few of us. Everybody except Melanie. This is so very important. And even though we all know in here, we all know about the word being the one, we all know about the power of our word, we can fall into habits very easily. So here's one that I found myself speaking this week that's kind of embarrassing. I was in the process of changing my wardrobe out, putting away my winter clothing and bringing out my summer clothing in my drawers in my closet. I have a lot of clothes. I love clothes, I really do, and I enjoy them. It's an artistic expression for me too, creating outfits. And so I thought I had everything set. It's a process for me. I had 3 bins, and I walked into the garage, and there was yet another bin of summer clothes. And what came out of my mouth, literally came out of my mouth, was, "You're ridiculous." You're ridiculous. I said that to myself. And then because I was spending the week purifying my word, I went, wait a minute. You don't really want to be affirming that. And so I had to reframe it with, well, this is a big task because you love clothes and you have a lot of clothes, but you choose this, and you can always choose differently. I can choose to clean out and sort out. So it was a different take, right? Than "you are ridiculous." Goodness. So our self-talk oftentimes can be about putting ourselves down, about guilt, comparing. Anybody compare yourself to someone else? Our gifts are all unique, right? Our constellation of gifts is all different. As you all know, singing was not a gift I was given, and yet I know many in our congregation were definitely given it. I'm not good enough. So we rehearse sometimes our mistakes, we diminish our gifts, we criticize, we predict failure, we don't think our bodies are good enough, on and on and on and on, instead of knowing that the divine life is showing up perfectly as me, uniquely as me. So I want to remind me and remind all of us, please, to remember to speak to ourselves as God would speak to us. Can you imagine? And that doesn't mean the angry God some of us grew up with, the angry God that is going to be mad at us because we did this or that or the other thing. This is the God that truly knows who we are. We were, one of the homework assignments we had last week when we were purifying our thoughts was to sit down and journal a love letter from God to us. So imagine that. That's something you might consider doing this week. And Reverend Mark said, be as gushy as you want. You know? Unlimited. Just shower yourself to remind ourselves that we're loved by our Creator. Even, I came across a line from St. Francis of Assisi about how God absolutely adores his creation or her creation, its creation. This is a poem I found from my favorite modern mystic, Chalon Harkin, who said, you can evict God. Now, obviously, we can't evict God, right? But what we can evict is the old God that many of us grew up with, the judgmental God. So she says this, you can choose to evict God from his snooty sky nest at any time and rehome him in the cozy burrow of your chest. You can choose to open the great she-God and experience the mother in every pore. You can choose to disarm God of all his weapons, take away his hardest sticks of judgment and conditionality, and finally just breathe in love. You can choose to relieve stern, perfectionist, hard-ass God from his duties and have been serving no one and go with a new boss, or better yet, friend, who has the qualities on his resume you might actually want. Here are the qualities: authentic, close, open, humorous, so sweet. You can let go of absence and know that God desires you too. And all of this great change begins whenever you're brave enough to simply choose it, right in the softest center of your own heart. Yeah, I want that. I want that for me, and I want that for all of us, actually. So number one, let's watch our self-talk, and let's reframe it when it happens, right? Let's love on ourselves, because we know when we love on ourselves, we are more able to love everything else and everyone else. Number two, so watching our word has to do with things like sarcasm, complaining, judgment. It reminded me, many of you are familiar with Don Miguel Ruiz's book, The Four Agreements. You remember what the very first agreement is? Be impeccable with your word. And so he talks about cutting out gossip, cutting out limitation, cutting out criticism. Be impeccable with your word. In other words, really be conscious of it, be mindful of it. In fact, I wanted to read you a little thing in here, which is really very powerful. He talked about black magic and white magic. You know, that wand that we hold, that wand that is our tongue, can perform white magic and produce lovely things, or it can hold black magic and produce darkness. So Ruiz writes, just imagine what you can create with impeccability of the word. With the impeccability of the word, you can transcend the dream of fear and live a different life. You can live in heaven in the middle of thousands of people living in hell, because you are immune to that hell. You can attain the kingdom of heaven from this one agreement. Be impeccable with your word. So, where are we tempted? I think when it comes to politics, when it comes to our bodies, when it comes to other people, these are some of the areas where we get dicey with our word. Now, we're not talking here about toxic positivity. We can acknowledge when perhaps conditions aren't exactly what we want. It's not about that. It's about what we're speaking about it and what we know to be the truth, which is God is always in charge. Therefore, goodness, love is always in charge. There is always divine order unfolding, no matter how messy things get. When we complain constantly, what are we enforcing? We're enforcing more of the same, right? We're reinforcing limitation. So it's about training ourselves, as many of us are already doing, to look for the good, the sacred, the holy, rather than what's wrong. So here is another confession. I'm a minister, and I suppose I'm not supposed to swear. I have convinced myself that even if on occasion I take the Lord's name in vain, that really Jesus or God aren't upset with me. But I don't want to do that, because why would you take a holy, sacred thing and use it when you're mad or frustrated or angry? The same thing goes for the F word. Why on earth would we take the act of lovemaking and turn it into the most negative thing you could say to us? Why would we do that? It doesn't make any sense, right? So again, I'm trying to train myself, and this part isn't easy for me, and I bet for you, because sometimes our speech is habitual. When something falls on me or something goes wrong suddenly, unexpectedly, out comes the S word. You know that word? It just comes out. My mother said it. We never said really bad words in my household growing up. I didn't get those till I got to college. But that word just happens. And somebody, I don't know if she's here today, but somebody heard me in the office this week. Something happened and I was embarrassed. So I'm trying to hone that, not because it's a sin but it's just, that isn't what I want to be putting out there. It's not. So I've been saying shoot, 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 gosh, 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 phooey, 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 But if it takes years of forming a habit, there's this thing that maybe it takes 21 days to form a new habit. I think it might even take longer. But I'm hoping it's worth the effort that I will eventually purify my word. I want to purify my word. Did you know that we speak, on average, 16,000 words a day? Now, if you're an introvert, if you live alone, that might be a little different. If you're an extrovert or you do what I do for a living, which is basically talk, it's probably more. And so it behooves us to choose wisely. The Course in Miracles talks about the boomerang effect. Our words, our thoughts, our words, and our actions come right back to us. That's the law of circulation, right? We know that about our wealth and giving. So if I'm speaking criticisms, if I'm speaking anger, if I'm speaking complaints, they're coming right back at me. And we also know there's only one of us here, right? So I think I can point the finger at somebody and criticize or judge, but who else am I pointing the finger at? Myself. So once again, this idea to treat our word as our wand. The mystic poet, the Sufi poet Rumi, says that before we speak, we need to let our words pass through 3 gates. At the first gate, you ask yourself, is it true? At the second gate, is it necessary? And at the third gate, is it kind? Is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? I once heard a song, I can't remember the artist's name that was here when we were meeting at the Scottish Rite Center, and he had a song about this, and he called it, Is It Necessary, True, and Kind? So that's what I kind of filter myself. So if I feel tempted to complain about someone's behavior or, say something negative, I go, Kimberly, is it necessary? Is it true? Is it kind? It's a wonderful, wonderful set of questions to ask before we open the mouth. Hafiz said, Complaint is only possible while living in the suburbs of God. Complaint is only possible when living in the suburbs of God. In other words, if we're truly aware that God is everywhere, that even when something's happening that we don't like, who's in charge? The infinite, right? There's nothing more powerful. God is all powerful, all knowing, everywhere present. So when we complain, we're forgetting that. At least we're speaking as if we forget that, which is not helpful. There's a story some of you may have heard about a little boy who had a really bad temper. And his dad was trying to help him learn to control that. And so his father gave him a big bag of nails and said, every time you lose your temper, I want you to hammer a nail into this fence, which was not an easy thing for this little guy to do, but he did it. And at the end of the first day, he had 37 nails in the fence. But each day as he focused on trying to, purify that temper and think before he spoke, there were fewer and fewer bouts till he got to the point where one day no nails went into the fence. And he went to his father. He was pretty excited. And his daddy said, wonderful. Now, each day that you go without losing your temper, I want you to remove one of those nails, which was also a big job. And at the end of that time, the two of them stood and looked at the fence, and the father said, this fence will never be the same. Good for you for changing your habit, but you see, just as the fence exhibits the scars of what was said, so too, each time we say something in anger, we leave a scar. And the little boy looked at Dad and he said, you know what? I'm sorry for all the holes that I've caused in you. And Daddy looked at him and said, I forgive you, son. It's okay. And I love that metaphor for what we do when we get mad or when we express it. There is a poem by Hafiz. I'm going to read just an excerpt of it. So this, I think, brings me to my third point. So we have self-talk, we have complaining and cussing and sarcasm. Sarcasm was another one I didn't really touch on. I've caught myself being sarcastic here and there. And there's nothing wrong with being humorous and playing around. That's fine. But, if it involves a put down of myself or someone else, I don't think there's a fine line, isn't there? Sometimes it's playful, but I think it deserves some mindfulness, some thought about how we allow ourselves to use sarcasm. So the third point, final point here, is about how our words, we might call them spiritual architecture. We know they build our world, right? They affect how we feel. They affect what happens around us. They affect other people. And this is excerpts from a poem by Hafiz. What we speak becomes the house we live in is the name of the poem. What we speak becomes the house we live in. Who will want to sleep in your bed if the roof leaks right above it? Fear is the cheapest room in the house. I would like to see you living in better conditions. There's only one reason we followed God into this world: to encourage laughter, freedom, dance, and love. I should not make any promises right now, but I know if you pray somewhere in this world, something good will happen. If you pray somewhere in this world, something good will happen. So that is what we do, right? We do affirmative prayer. We speak what we want to see, what we know to be the spiritual truth into being, and the law responds. So both Unity, again, and Science of Mind teach this. It's one of our basic principles. I know most of you already know this. We are co-creators with God. This is what Ernest Holmes said. We are co-creators with God, creating reality through thoughts held in mind. Just as the Word is what God spoke, how God spoke the world into being, right? In the beginning was the Word was God. We too are given that power. We have a God that responds to us. We are surrounded by a creative mind which receives the direct impress of our thoughts and acts upon it. I thought about calling this talk, Mind Your Mind, Watch Your Words. Nice alliteration, right? Because it involves not only minding our watching the words that come out, but also minding the thoughts. And if we have negative thoughts or fear come up, one of the best things we can do is see a practitioner or a trusted friend who is spiritually alive, awake, or a minister, and receive an affirmative prayer. So let's remember, if there's anything going on for you that you don't like or that you're uncomfortable with or that you feel like complaining about, come up after service and get one of those 5-minute miracle prayers. It is our practitioners' and ministers' pleasure to do that for you. Every day we're casting spells with that wand. We are casting spells, not through magic, but through our consciousness and through our spoken word. Our words shape our emotions, our relationships, our entire world. Your word is indeed your wand. I love Reverend Elisha Christopher, who spoke here, I think it was last fall. When he finishes a prayer, he'll release the word into the law, thanking the divine for its answer, and he'll say, "And so it is, amen, abracadabra." Because it is magic. I mean, it isn't really, it's spiritual law, but it is a wand. So, let us become mindful magicians of grace. Let us remember our word is truly powerful. Let's release complaint and cynicism. Remembering Rumi's 3 gates before we speak. Is it necessary? Is it true? Is it kind? Let us speak a blessing over ourselves and over others, choosing love, not fear. I love that Negro spiritual. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Let's allow our minds and our speech to remain stayed on spirit. Words that plant peace. Our speech, let it only be positive prayers, just, pure, and holy. I'm going back to that affirmation. If you'll say it after me one more time. I was created to create the good, the true, and the holy. That's what I want for each of us to do this week. Let's go into prayer. So once again, let's turn inward. Closing eyes if that's comfortable. Recognizing this creator, this power, this all-loving Father, Mother, God, which not only created each of us in its image and likeness, by the way, it loves us with a love that is infinite, eternal, a love that probably as humans we can't quite grok. We are the beloved. We are loved, loving, and lovable forever, ever, ever. And we are one. Since we're all made of that one divine cloth, we can't be separate from it, can't be separate from each other. So let us remember as we speak that our speech is a boomerang that comes right back to us. Knowing as we look at that concept of the divine, that it is good, it is peace, it is love, it is freedom, it is wholeness. It is absolute exquisite order. It is all powerful, all knowing, everywhere present, always. In me, in you, in each one on the planet. And so I know that each of us is supported as we remember that we were created to create the good, the true, and the holy. That we are supported in purifying our thoughts, purifying our words, letting them pass through those 3 beautiful gates, speaking only that which is true, which is necessary, which is holy, kind. Knowing that as we do this together, we create heaven right here on earth. No matter what is going on right now, it can shift. It is our collective thought, our collective word, which creates that which is around us. And there is a God living within us and all around us that wants us to have that kingdom right now, to live in that kingdom right now. We hold the power in our hands, in our word, in our tongue. let us use it for good. Let us be musicians of white magic, not black, of love, not fear. I know things shift this week as we contemplate this, as we practice this. So I'm asking that, and knowing that each of us is supported in breaking any habits of self-criticism, of sarcasm that's used in a negative way, of cussing, if that's what we wish to eliminate, that this beautiful presence within us can be powerfully, powerfully speaking words of truth, of love. So grateful for this opportunity to share with you. So grateful for each one here. So grateful to know this prayer is answered already in the mind of the divine. So we're going to release it, saying, and so it is. Amen. And say with me, abracadabra. Yes.
This is a unity standard. Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Listen to what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer. Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Listen to what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer. Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Listen to what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer.
Time now for our tithes and offerings. So I'm going to ask our ushers to come forward. I think it's, let's see, it's Joy and somebody else, Morel? Terry, Joy and Terry. So if you need an envelope, they're in back of the purple chairs. If you're watching online, you'll see a QR code if you'd like to donate to our good works here. We so appreciate all the generosity. So let's say our affirmation together. Graciously I give from a place of love, knowing that as I give, so do I richly receive.
Shri Ram Om. Narayana, Narayana, Jaya Gurudev, 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 Shri Ram Om.
Thank you. Just a taste of what's to come. So the first announcement is an invitation to stay after we have fellowship and food in Bosworth Hall to enjoy the kirtan concert. These three are amazing. How many of you been to a kirtan with them before? Then you all know they are simply asking a suggested donation of $15 to $20, but no one is turned away. I know I'm staying because it's one way I get filled up. And I think at one point you call it ecstatic kirtan, right? I mean, and feel free to dance. It's okay, right? It's not only okay, it's encouraged. So these three together are so amazing. Thank you.
We call it ecstatic because ecstatic means to stand out of the way. So that entheoseizestia, the other Greek word, enthusiasm, the Spirit can come and fill that space.
Thank you. I think of Emerson's line, let's get our bloated nothingness out of the way and let the vine come through. Everything else, Tai Chi, poetry, is spiritual practice, and miracle makers are all meeting this week on schedule. If you don't get our weekly newsletter, please sign up because that will keep you abreast of everything that's happening. And I believe I don't know if we're printing a copy anymore, so also there's a calendar online if you go to our website. Rogue Valley Rainbow Connection meets this week, Tuesday at 6 p.m. It's open to the LGBTQIA+ community and also friends and allies. Everybody's welcome. I'm starting a 4-week class. It's a summer class, so it's rather lighter, and it's on the poetry of Rumi. I've taught it before. Some of you have taken it. It's called Rumi, Walking the Inner Path of Love. And the poetry group has agreed to move actually not yet, but in mid-June, they're going to move their meeting to Thursday. So we will meet Tuesdays from 11 to 1, starting on June 15, ending, I think it's June 17, that's a Tuesday, ending on July 15. I'm going to invite the Poetry as Spiritual Practice group to come at no charge because they've been kind enough to re-give me my slot. I started that group 2 years ago and it's still going. It's amazing. Let's see. Do sign up because I need to know how many handouts, how many poems, to copy. And let's see, is there anything else? I will send you, when you give me your email, a printed copy of the workbook. It's the kind of class, I know it's summer, if you need to miss one, it's not a big deal. It's not like it builds on each other. Each week we'll examine a different poem. And we use Parker Palmer's Quaker method of quiet contemplation and speaking. It's just a wonderful class. We're going to be doing a little Sufi dancing, and it's just tremendous. So I'm asking a love offering of $15 a class, but again, just you decide, all right? And please come. It's a delightful class. Please consider signing up to bring food on Sunday. We've been doing pretty good with that. You can check, as I mentioned, our scheduled events on the calendar page of our website. There is a prayer box in the back of the sanctuary for both unity and science of mind. So our practitioners and ministers pray all week, and those prayers get sent to Silent Unity afterwards at the end of the month. check out our table in there for name tag sign up and all of that. I'm going to invite our practitioners and ministers in the room to please come forward now. They're going to be available for a prayer afterwards. And they are underutilized, so it's their pleasure to pray with you. So come, grab one of them by the hand and ask for prayer. I'm going to read a little excerpt as our benediction from the Four Agreements again, because I think this is really cute. If we adopt the first agreement and become impeccable with our word, any emotional poison will eventually be cleaned from our mind and from our communication in our personal relationships, including with our pet dog or cat. I don't have much negativity against my cat, but who knows? Let's stand if you're able, and we'll sing our closing song together.
For years I would talk about how I wanted to change the world, but I always left it for someone else to do. Then I finally realized I needed to take a stand, that by changing my thinking I could change my life, and that's how I could change the world. So let there be peace,
I am a stand for peace.
let there be love,
I am a stand for love.
let there be joy,
I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now.
let there be peace,
I am a stand for peace.
let there be joy,
I am a stand for joy.
let there be love,
I am a stand for love. We are making a new world now.
let there be peace,
I am a stand for peace.
let there be love,
I am a stand for love.
let there be joy,
I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now.
let there be peace,
I am a stand for peace.
let there be love,
I am a stand for love.
let there be joy,
I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. We are making